Casey. So, a couple of years ago, I was working at Omniture, and I remember once Chris Shelley was there. We were in a conference room, and So I'm working at Omniture a couple of years ago. We're in a conference room, and a couple of guys were just sitting around, and the meeting went over. And one of the guys looked up and he said, I've been going through the scriptures, and there's a part in there about the apocalypse, and it says, when we come back after the apocalypse, we're all dead, we're raised, we're all going to have perfect bodies. And he says, I've been thinking all weekend, I wonder what we're going to look like. And after a pause, I looked around at the group and I said, I hate to break it to you guys, but you're all going to be black. So those of you here who are wondering what it's like to be a black guy surrounded by a bunch of Mormons, trust me, you're going to find out soon enough. Earl Nightingale once said that successful people are dreamers who have found a dream too exciting, too important to remain in the realm of fantasy, and who, day after day, hour after hour, toil in the service of their dream until they can touch it with their hands and see it with their eyes. Now, here in Utah County, we have a dream. We share it. We dream of a nation that finally lives up to the promise of the vision of its founders, that's governed by the letter and the spirit of its founding documents, where our leaders are judged by their actions, not by their intentions, and where our children don't have to look in history books to find the greatness of America, because it's in the deeds and the actions of men and women in their community, and they see it every day. Now, the second part of that maxim, the labor, the toil, is a little bit more challenging for us here, because most parties are judged, their work is judged by their victories. But in a county like Utah, where victories are so easy to come by, we have to be a little bit more creative. I present to you that we're not going to be judged by how many victories we have, how many Democrats we defeat, but by the number of calls that we make, the number of voters that we reach out to, by how much of a dialogue we can create with the people we represent back in our home precincts. You see, we here in Utah County, more acutely than probably anybody else in the country, understand the promise of liberty, and we understand how precious it is. Now, it may be partially because of your shared heritage. I'm a transplant, as the children and grandchildren of pioneers. But we understand liberty, and we understand how precious and important it can be. And I think we have a responsibility to share that with the rest of the country. We're already getting calls from county chairs as far away as Atlanta, Georgia, asking us for our secret sauce. And when they call, we have to have something a little bit more tangible than telling them, have all of your members convert and get all of their ancestors baptized. I have a slogan that's on my wall in my bedroom. It says, your focus becomes your reality. For the last 100 years, America's been the focus of the world, and we've seen the results. Democracy's on the march even in the Middle East. Capitalism's taking over even in Red China. And Vladimir Putin has a flat tax that he learned from some economists in Chicago. Our job is to make Utah the focus of America so that our dream can be shared by people as far away as Chicago and Atlanta, and yes, even Washington, D.C. Now, to enable the work that I'm talking about, Casey and I have done a lot of work ourselves over the last few years. Casey's talked about the committees that we're going to ask you to participate in. We've built an office. Frankly, I can't say this enough, it amounts to about a $30,000 donation from John Pastana, founder of Omniture, my old boss, with 5 offices, 25-seat classroom, conference rooms. We've had computers donated by Jason Chaffetz and our legislators, high-definition television. We've built a data strategy that is the envy of the state, a CRM system with API links into VoterClick and CallFire. I mean, it's heavy stuff. 258,000 voters are in there. We've got the infrastructure to get the work done, but we need your help to make it happen. Each of you can make a difference. And we can always use your money, but frankly, we'd really rather have your time. In closing, I just want to say this. I've lived here in Utah County now since 2002. And it's been a pleasure and an honor to work with you. But I can tell you this, just in closing, the proudest thing I can say about myself right now is that for 12 years I've been one of you. Thank you for letting me be your vice chair.